Hey, you gotta be genuine. That's the name of this game.
Welcome.
Good morning.
You're real.
Good morning and
Sorry about
welcome
that.
to
You got nothing to
the
worry
FND
about.
Podcast.
But
I'm
if you're
Effin,
synthetic,
I'm
try
Dean.
tomorrow, your balls come off.
and this is podcast number 9. That means you
Forgot
only
how to
have
do 9 with my 9. Lucky number 9.
9. That means we only have one more in your contract before we renegotiate.
Oh, snap.
Snap.
Oh, snap. I might be asking for a raise.
Yeah.
If Stern can do it, so can I.
I don't think it's going that well for Stern, quite honestly,
Oh.
which is a shame because he was someone I really, I don't want to say admired or looked up to, but I can tell you, working in New York City, taking Metro North for almost 20 years, he got me through the mornings and the evenings. Without a doubt, I would not survive without his wit and witticism. It was unbelievable. It was the
A lot of
greatest.
podcasting wouldn't be what it was if it wasn't for him. We probably wouldn't be doing this here if it wasn't for him.
It was the greatest radio. I heard about him in 1984 when he was coming out of DC. And I went away to school, and there was someone who lived in the Virginia area had mentioned it. Oh, kitty or dog.
That's the husky.
In 1984. And I remember I went home and turned it on around 4:00 in the afternoon, and I heard him. And it was history from there until he joined extraterrestrial radio, Sirius and XM and all of that.
Yep.
So, but I'm not going to waste too much time. We have a fantastic guest. It is our very first back of house guest.
It's exciting.
It is exciting. We
Different
have not
perspective.
I'm really interested to hear what he has to say. I'm excited to hear this. So without further ado, I'd like to be able to focus most of this podcast on speaking with him and not listening to either myself drivel on about nothing or, well, Dee, I can listen to you all the time, so I don't have a problem with you.
We can talk about how cute this dog is. Oh, if you can even see him.
It's kind of washed out, and I doubt I know enough about computers to fix
There's
that.
another one somewhere over here.
So pretend there's a dog around, washed out, the husky, and there's the other dog.
There's the other one.
There's the other one. So, moving on from pets, I'd like to bring our guest in, our first back of house guest in from all the way from Raleigh. He's leading an interesting life. I'd like to welcome Evan. So without further ado, I'm going to pause our podcast and bring our guest aboard. And welcome back to the FND Podcast. I am Effin.
I am Dean.
And you are with such enthusiasm.
Toby
and I'd
Cat
like
keeps
to
moving my laptop.
you know,
I'm trying to keep it.
I'd like to welcome our very special guest on podcast number 9, lucky number 9. Please, sir, introduce yourself.
Everybody, my name is Evan Engelstein. I'm the owner of Labels Catering and Harry's Hot Dogs. I've known Jamie for a long time now. We started working together at a Raleigh country club and kind of just had a really good connection, and excited to be on with you guys.
We're really happy to have you,
Welcome,
my friend. And it's actually a rare love affair that we have because you work in the back of the house.
That's true.
And I work in the front of the house. And
is this our first back of house?
Mortal enemies.
Typically, yes. I have never worked at a place where I have met a chef that isn't ornery or angry about something. So
yeah, I think that's kind of stuff what I want to talk about too. About kind of
that'd be great.
Yeah, like I just think that, and don't get me wrong, I think that there's a certain level of kind of standards that you need to uphold as a chef, and I think that a lot of it kind of, the olden days where, like, you throw pots and pans kind of doesn't really fly anymore, and
Right.
I think there's definitely a fine line. You don't want to, you don't want your employees to be in a state of fear constantly.
Without a doubt. Without a doubt. It
Yeah.
is so much easier to rule with love and kindness and
Kind of.
kindness and nurturing
Yeah.
growth
Yeah.
versus, as you mentioned, fear.
Yeah.
And there are many times where people are afraid to talk, and that does not bode well for growth, especially at the back of the house. One of the
Hmm.
things I really liked about the way you worked, you had a very unique perspective on how your position should be run. But
Hmm.
I don't think you necessarily got the chance to run it that way.
Yeah, I mean, I think like I'm very grateful for the mentors that I had in my career, early on in my career, and I don't I wouldn't really change anything because I think that a lot of that stuff that went on shaped who I was, and I
Of
even if it
course.
wasn't necessarily the best at the time, it kind of shaped me as a person and shaped me as a chef. And I think like times are changing, but I think like the crux of it is kind of like you need to treat people with respect. And I think that
Of
for
course.
me, I didn't really like grow as much when I'm in a constant state of fear of what's going to happen.
Right.
And
It's a
I think
stressful
that's,
environment to begin
yeah,
People
with.
don't
it's
want to work
already
for shitty
stressful.
bosses anymore.
Right.
Yeah.
Uh,
Like we're not working for mean people or bad
you,
Yeah.
people.
you don't
And
have to.
that's one of the reasons why I wanted to start my own company too, is like I want to be, in charge of myself, and I
Right.
want to, put stuff out in the world that I'm happy with and be creative and, do stuff that makes me, feel like I'm doing something that is me. And when I'm the boss and when I have more employees, I want to treat them with, respect and get the best out of them as people. And if you
Of
if you don't
course.
really understand somebody as a person, I think it's really hard to get the most out of them.
Of course.
And I was reading this book, Seven Habits of Highly Effective
Highly
People. I
effective.
think that's
Right.
what it is.
Of
And
course.
yeah, which every hospitality worker is pretty much read. And it's like if you're not being genuine, like people will know, and
Right.
if you like even if you follow everything to a T of like how you're supposed to act, if people don't think that it's genuine, you're not going to get the best out of them.
Of
And I
course.
think that that human connection is, like kind of like a prerequisite of like you just have to form that trust there, or else
Right.
all the other stuff isn't gonna come into place. And that's where, I wanted to talk about the mentorship and leadership, and I feel like that's such a big part. I mean, obviously it's a big part, but I think that's something that chefs kind of like don't really put as much emphasis on, like the human connection aspect of it, where
So do you mean mentorship as chefs generally should take on a more mentorship mentality as they work, or are you moving in the direction that you are looking to create a business or a company? Please
well, I think
enlighten me. I'm not
I
sure.
think both. Like I think obviously for me, like be a mentor for people that
Right.
want that, but also I think like just what mentorship means in this business. I think like it starts with like the connection. Like I said, like it's not just about in your work. Like it's really about like forming a bond, and like
Hell,
that is like the prerequisite.
we actually talked about this, our very first
Hmm.
podcast, 9 weeks ago. Do you remember, D? We talked about somebody had just gotten out of the army and got into this business, and he knew nothing about it.
Yep.
He
Hmm.
just knew that he wanted to take care of people. So, what he was looking for were people that he could latch on to that would help him grow, that would
Yeah.
help him be better at this
That's how I
job.
started too.
That's how you started too, D. What do you
Yeah.
mean?
You watch who's good at it.
You watch who's good at it.
Hmm.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And hopefully the person you're watching understands that they're in a position, they're in a responsibility, that they've been through the trenches, they've been through the ropes, they're veterans. And it's a duty of veterans to teach the neophytes, the newbies, the ropes, the tricks, the traps, so they could be better. And
Hmm.
if they help you grow, everybody grows.
Yeah, you
Mhm.
lift each other up for sure.
Of course. It's so
Yeah.
important. And I've seen it go the other way if you talked as you talked about when we first started, that it's a lot of fear-based.
Hmm.
Even servers, even front of house, are afraid to go into the kitchen and talk to the chef about their
Yeah.
ideas or,
Yeah. And that makes more mistakes happen,
of course.
because what if there's something that needs to get communicated and it doesn't get communicated because you don't want to go and upset the chef,
It's
and I
funny.
get that it's a stressful, position, but that is the position. And I don't want to sit here and say that I know everything because I don't, but I think that I see it from both sides.
Right.
And I think a lot of it is kind of like, you versus me. And it's like
Doesn't
we're
have to
one
be.
thing,
Right.
Supposed to be
you
a
know?
team.
Uh,
Yeah.
We're a
exactly, D.
family.
I talk
Yeah.
about that in
But yeah.
I, of course, I have to bleep out that word. We are a
Oh,
family program.
Yeah, can't say family
yeah.
on this podcast.
Right.
Sorry.
We have an audience, just to let you know, Evan, an audience of two. There are about 11 or 12 who are going nowhere in life and are aspiring to get into hospitality. So that was the whole purpose. Well, it wasn't the purpose of the podcast. The purpose of the podcast was to promote my book, which talks about
Shameless
communication.
plug.
Hmm.
Well, it's my podcast. It talks about the importance of communication. We do
Yeah.
it all the time. We know how to communicate. We're just not communicating correctly. And if we do it in a nurturing, kind, loving manner, in a way that people can feel that you want them to grow and
Yeah.
succeed,
I
of
think
course,
respect is a thing that's lost a lot in this industry.
Yeah.
I agree. Well, it's lost a lot in general life
Yeah.
overall. People are not respecting other people's opinions. You're allowed to have a difference of
Hmm.
opinion. You're allowed to have a thought.
That's
You're
why we live in
allowed to have an
America.
right. You shouldn't be punished for it, as we are seeing. So I think, again, we are not a political podcast, but hopefully respect is so important in this business for everybody. And
Yeah.
Dee mentioned it earlier. I actually, on my website, serversandmanagers.com, another shameless plug, Evan, Dee wrote that people don't leave bad jobs, right?
Yeah.
It's bad
They leave
managers.
they leave bad managers.
Yeah.
I mean, you can put up with a lot in a job. Basically, if you did what you did back of house at any club or any restaurant, it's not going to change that much other than the ingredients of the menu that you're doing. But the attitude can change. The way the relationship of the chef and the sous chef and the way front of house and back of house work together
Yeah. The culture, the overall culture.
can change because you can do this anywhere. What you do, a
Yeah. I
server
think that's
can
the beauty of
serve,
our profession too.
right? That's
You
one of
never
the
not
things.
have a job.
It makes this job, this profession, amazing because you could
Yeah.
work in any position and move up and
Yeah.
grow. But as you
And when
said,
it's good, it's great. When you find a good team, you find a
Yeah.
team that you mesh with, like it's amazing. And I think
right,
that's what keeps us in the industry because I mean, we're not in it for a lot of, there's a lot of industries where you can make a ton more money. I mean, you can make good money, but
right.
it's kind of, for the love of the hospitality. Like you
We
want to
are
take care
in
of
the
people.
relationship business, and
Yeah.
I've stayed in a job that I didn't make money in because I liked what I was doing
right.
Yeah.
We
100%.
for a
right.
long time.
Again, it's not bad jobs, it's bad managers. And you and I have remained friends for a long time. There are strong bonds that are
Hmm.
created in this business because we all do go through a lot and we're all in the business of giving
Yeah.
out love and giving out hospitality. And we find people like yourself who are of that same mindset that are not negative and not working
It
through
gives
fear.
you,
Now, it's so
yeah.
important. And that's how the business grows. And the same works for management too. It's a management culture too. If management is encouraging chefs to talk like that and treat their employees like that, and not encouraging their server veterans or their
Yeah.
front of house veterans to teach the new people, they're doing a tremendous disservice to their business, without a doubt.
100% agree.
So, what are you doing with your business? You said hot dogs.
Yeah, so that's kind of what I've been focusing on for the last couple months. Trying to get my food truck launched. Right now we're in the building phase.
Nice,
I have the branding is all done and everything. I'm kind of just kind of a limbo period where we get the truck up and running and getting everything set with that. But yeah, it's going to be
fantastic.
a gourmet hot dog truck. We're going to do gourmet dogs. We're going to do Snake River Farms Wagyu dogs. We're going to have
Ooh.
Macy's
Wow.
Applewood smoked dogs.
So
Some like
I am salivating. Multiple questions are just running through my brain. First off,
yeah,
what name did you go with?
Harry's Hot Dogs. That's my
Harry's Hot.
grandfather's name.
Oh, wow.
He's the reason this is all possible. And yeah, I think it's a really catchy name and kind of easy to remember.
Of
And it
course.
kind of just has a really special meaning to me. And he's, kind of he's kind of my inspiration. He was a great man and he built his business from the ground up. He was an immigrant from Romania, got taken, his mom and his brother got taken by the Russian army.
Wow.
And yeah, and he's true rags to riches story. I mean,
Made it
he
to this
grew his
country and
yeah,
grew.
made it to this country, built a multi-million dollar company. His company was on the stock market,
Wow.
trading at $100 per share. Like he's a true
Wow.
inspiration. I think
A great
he
entrepreneur.
would
So
be
God bless
extremely
him.
happy, to see me doing this and to see,
I know you as an
what I can do.
individual, and I know he is proud of you. I know your work ethic. I know
Yeah.
your mindset. There's no doubt he is smiling upon you and guiding you. So that's fantastic. And
Yeah.
and then the other equally important question: when do you open?
Yep.
So
Very important
we're
question.
shooting 6 weeks from when the build starts. So we're shooting for kind of December-ish, and I want to
Nice.
have some friends and family events and too. So you guys are definitely be invited to that and kind of
I'm honored.
grow it like that. And we're going to be doing a lot of festivals, a lot of like events, breweries, golf outings, weddings, stuff
Guess
like
who
that.
works
So
at a
it's going to be
brewery?
awesome. What's
Well,
up?
I work at a part
Yeah,
of a
so
brewery.
we'll talk more about that too. I think,
That, that
once we're kind of closer to launch, I'm gonna start really hitting that hard and
do you
yeah,
have
exciting
signage at
times
all?
for me.
Do you have
What's up?
signage at all? Any signage at all?
I have like the branding done, but no like physical signs yet, no.
Okay. Well, if you have the logo at the
Yeah, I
very
have the
least,
logo.
so through the magic of this podcast, boom, there's your logo, my friend.
Nice.
There's your logo. And eventually, when I get
Yeah.
learn to link, because I am still a neophyte in this podcasting thing, I'll have a way to have your logo linked to
Yeah,
specifically
that'd be
your
cool.
website from my website. But that is so far down the road. There
Yeah.
is so
We'll
much
get
work to
there.
do. So
We'll get
that's
there.
unbelievable. Harry's Hot Dogs. I don't have
Harry's
too
hot
much of your
dogs.
time because I
Yep.
have, and you had real quick, you have a catering business that you're getting off the ground.
Yeah.
So
So I
once
have
again, boom, there's your logo for the catering
thank you.
business. My pleasure.
Yeah.
My
So a little
pleasure.
bit we do like upscale private dinner parties, stuff like that. Do meal prep
In the
and yeah,
Raleigh
just
area,
yeah, Raleigh, Cary, Durham, Fuquay. We've done some wine dinners, fine dining, family style, stuff like that. So whatever you need, I got it.
please double check, read the logo, read the information. You can find all the information on the screen right now, and I'll flash it again at the end of this podcast. Evan, I know I don't have too much more of your time. So, to me, one of the most important parts of this podcast are seven-ish questions. I'm going to ask you seven-ish questions, and hopefully,
Maybe heavy on the ish.
and it's ish because the first question's a two-potter. And the
Too
first
bad.
question, a two-potter. The first question is, when and where did you get your start in hospitality?
Well, my first job in hospitality was at Fresh Market, the grocery store, and one of my coworkers had applied to, and
Had applied
he
to a country club.
yeah, you can edit that out, and yeah, so he kind of was like, I'm gonna do this, and then I was like, okay, I want to do that too. And then, I applied and the rest is history. So yeah,
Uh,
just the Raleigh area country club was my first real kitchen job in hospitality, and I couldn't be more grateful for that.
what got you into the food industry versus
Um,
selling
so I
cars or
so basically I went to call out of high school, I went to college for sports and rec management,
right?
and I kind of just did it because I thought I was supposed to go to college and just was type thing, and I got
Drink,
kicked out.
you were having a good time in college, is what you
Yeah.
just said. Yes,
Yeah, I was doing a little too much, but I kind of I failed out, and I kind of didn't know what I wanted to do, and I kind of like always loved cooking. My uncle was a chef. My mom loved like food was always a part of my family. My
right.
grandfather, we'd have Sunday was Chinese food every night.
Wow,
It was just
I get it.
all it was everything was all food. So I
That,
love food, and I kind of didn't know what I wanted to do, and I was like, I'm gonna go to culinary school, and I kind of just took that leap of faith, and I remember my first class, I was cutting like carrots or something, and I was like, I think this is what I want to do.
That's the kind of school
really?
I wanted to do.
Yeah.
That's good.
And yeah, the rest is history. And I kind of just like, oh, like this is what I'm supposed to be doing. And then,
You just loved it.
just
You
loved
just
it.
fed that's fantastic. And how long were you
Yeah.
at the club for?
I think six years. And then I went to a different club, was got a sous chef job at a different country club and
Do you like
did
country
that.
clubs versus, say, restaurants or hotels? Was there, it was because your friend got you into clubs, or was there
Yeah, it
something
was
about the
literally
club?
just a whim. It was literally
Right,
just he got a job there and he loved it, and I was like, I want to do that too. I want to work in a real kitchen. No
right.
offense to the fresh market, but it's
Of
not it's
course.
not really a kitchen.
That's no, I get it. I get it. And I guess that's one of the big things about front of house and back of house is you're going to be doing the same thing no matter where you go. In the back of the house though, whether you work in a restaurant, whether you work in a hotel, or whether you work in the club, I guess it's no different. I know in the front of the house, the way you treat the guests versus a hotel, the way you treat the guests in a restaurant
Yeah.
versus the way you treat guests
I
in
think
a
there's
club.
definitely differences in back of house too. I
You
mean,
do.
one for one, the food cost is way different.
Yeah.
The just the general like how everything works. We're basically an amenity for the club.
Right.
The way that that whole system works is a lot different. There's similarities for sure, but it's
Of
just a
course.
little bit different than, a mom and pop restaurant.
Yeah.
But
And also, you're not like one of those big chain stores
yeah,
that have those rushes where you're
yeah, and
feeding,
bagged
just
food.
all the time. And that's
Yeah,
awful, awful.
yeah,
So I'm going to ask you another question. Move on
yep.
to actually D. Pick a
Me.
number one, 2 through 10.
Let's go lucky number 9.
Lucky number 9. Question number 9, Evan, is
Oh God.
if you could tell a customer one thing or one truth, or tell your chef one thing or one truth without any ramifications, what would that be?
Oh, that's a tough one. If you have celiac disease, I would not trust any any establishment. I think that whole like celiac gluten-free thing is always so crazy to me because like if you really do have celiac disease, like it's serious problem. So I feel like the people that say like gluten allergy and they don't really have gluten allergy, which I get
Hmm.
it, but it's a lot. It's a serious thing, you
It
know.
is. It is. And
And
those allergies, people just kind of, I guess, well, I don't want to knock that. People have allergies,
yeah,
but we've been eating grains for
yeah,
thousands and thousands of years. We have not had a gluten problem until recently. So I
yeah,
don't think personally it's the grains. I think it's all the junk that they put in to processing the food
yeah.
Oh, definitely.
Well, I
that
also think it's like
creates the
gluten-free, and
issues.
then you order the chocolate cake
Yeah.
or like something like that. It's like,
Right, right. Or
Or
they
you get a
want
I don't want to
regular beer,
bash
an
it. I don't want
IPA.
to bash anybody,
right
but
a veggie bun, a veggie
We see
on a
you.
gluten-free bun, and then they want French fries, and it's
yeah, yeah. That's all I
yeah.
got.
Well, the customer's always right. We know
They
that.
are. They are.
I'm going to pick a question. My
Okay.
question is lucky number 7.
Is every number lucky?
No, but
Oh, okay.
7 is
Just
5.
today.
I was just
Well,
checking.
if we're going to touch on that real quick, 5 happens to be my favorite number. And yesterday we did podcast number 8, and I launched my 8th video. And to me, the 8th number gets the least recognition of any number, 1
Really?
through 10. I believe. I mean, there's lucky number
Is there science
7s,
behind that?
just my own
Just you.
mentalness.
Oh
Gotta
yeah.
watch an anime called Soul Eater.
Uh, I love lucky number 7. What do you like most about your job?
I love the flexibility. I love the creativity. I love that, every win and every loss is me. I love that. I love working in country clubs, but I think that this was kind of the natural next step for me to kind of, do my own thing. And you kind of like, I've been wanting to kind of do my own thing for a long time and kind of just take that leap. And you got to risk it to get the biscuit type thing.
Yep.
And it's a scary thing, but it's something that's like,
I love that.
I just want to do,
I
it's
love
just,
that.
it was time for me to kind of do my own thing and kind of just go for it, man.
Uh, can I ask a favor?
Sure.
Can I use that quote on my website?
I mean, I didn't invent it.
I don't care. I'm going to attribute it
Yeah,
to
you
you.
From
Any,
a
do you
movie.
know
take it
who
all you
did?
want.
Do
The
you
good
know who
movie.
did?
Who?
I'm asking.
Oh no, I have no idea.
So then, as far as I know,
It's just from the ether. I don't know.
I've heard
Somebody
it from
did.
you. So I'd like
Yeah,
to add that you got to risk it to get the biscuit. I think
true.
that's fantastic, and
That's true.
you got to take a chance.
Yeah.
And but most importantly, to tie it back in, you have to have your bosses believe in you and give you that opportunity to grow and
Hmm.
take those chances. And that's how everybody grows.
Yeah.
So the last one, I'm going to give you the last number. Pick a number, 1 through
Two.
2. Number 2 for you, my
Lucky
friend.
two.
Lucky 2. Um, oh, this is a good one. What was your biggest revelation when you got into this business when you first started?
I think just the amount of knowledge that it takes, and the amount of like one thing that one of my chefs told me too is like, what and there's so much knowledge out there.
Right.
There's so much to learn, and
Yep.
you'll never learn enough. So it's kind of just about trying to get as much knowledge as you can, and just like you know what you know, and you can pass that down to your employees and stuff. But there's never too much knowledge. Like, you're never gonna know everything,
True.
and I kind of like that, and I think that
Keeping
that
an
kind of
open
drives
mind.
you to know to do more and to just like always keep pushing.
Right.
So yeah,
I
I
agree.
would say that. I think that was a revelation for me of like, there's no matter how far you are, how prestigious, your accolades are, whatever, like, you're always learning.
My brother actually taught me something along those lines too. He said that he wakes up every day on the quest for knowledge.
Yeah.
That
That's
he's
just a mindset too. Like, it
right.
doesn't matter who you are, you
Right.
know?
Every day we're here to learn and
Yeah.
good or bad. You can learn from
Yeah.
the
Oh yeah.
bad too.
I learned
You
so
can
much stuff from failing.
right. And that's it. Those are all teaching points. If you
Yeah.
have the right mindset, and most important, to tie it back on, you have bosses and mentors that are teaching you not to be discouraged, but to pick yourself
Yeah.
up and try it again. Try
Yeah.
it
And
again.
that's something that I think I got a lot out of, is like, the bads, like, they're probably better than the good stuff. Like, it might suck in the moment, but you learn, and you might hate it in the moment.
Right.
But a year down the line,
It's a
2 years
teaching
down the line,
lesson.
whatever,
If
you're
you
like,
right,
oh,
right.
yeah,
It's a mindset. It's a
yeah,
mindset. I have to ask you, I wanted to let you go there because I've had you on for quite a bit. And thank you again, sir, for doing this. I really
absolutely.
appreciate you.
Mm,
My pleasure.
But
thank
this
you.
is a really important question to me, at least. And it's a two-parter. The first part is there one person who really sets you on the path to growth, to stay and learn and be better in this business? And then the second part, which is important to me also, what is your favorite ice cream flavor?
That's funny. I'll do the second part first because I have a very hot take on this one. I love vanilla ice cream. I don't know if it's my favorite, but I feel like vanilla gets shit on, or
It's a classic.
like vanilla ice cream is delicious.
It
I
could be
have
mixed
vanilla
with
ice cream in my
everything.
fridge right now.
Like
Yes.
it's like why is like oh plain like it's delicious. And then another one also black raspberry ice cream. I love
Really?
that. Yeah,
Ooh.
black
Wow.
raspberry ice cream is not very popular. I think back in Mass, like people love it. There's a place name drop Richardson's Ice Cream, the best. Love that
In
place.
where is that in Massachusetts?
Yeah, it's in Massachusetts. I forget they have like a mini putt. They have like driving range. Black
Ever.
raspberry.
Black
Black
raspberry.
raspberry. Yeah.
Black
Mm.
And
raspberry
then to
ever.
answer your other question, I don't think that there's one person per se, but I think that just the sous chefs and the executive chefs that I had at the place we worked, I think shaped me the most out of my career. I think that I just had so many different people
Right.
that had so much like
So not one.
knowledge, and I was kind of in a position where they saw that I wanted to grow and they kind of pushed me to grow and they knew that that I could take it and that I was one of the few ones there that wanted that. And I think that they held me to a higher standard and I'm forever grateful for that.
That's fantastic.
And yeah,
A lot of people don't have it, and the fact that you had a few people
yeah,
is just a tremendous. And again, I would attribute that to, the people above looking out
thank
for you. They know what a good person you are, and they know what your work ethic is, and that's easily seen. And that's partly why we have remained friends, because we have similar thoughts and ideas about
yeah,
how this business should be run and how it's run.
I agree 100%.
And you know,
That's okay. Bye, Evan. Thanks for coming.
Evan, I'd like to thank you so much for coming on. Thank you for being here. He jumped off somehow. We got disconnected from Evan, but
I think it was a bit of a miscommunication, but it's
yeah.
okay.
So Evan, thank you so much for everything. We appreciate the love and the incredible insight on
Hmm.
the FND podcast. And a lot of what we talked about, communication, mentorship, you can find in my book, Servers and Managers Business Development, the quintessential authority for servers and managers to be better, to understand how to communicate, to mentor, to help your staff grow, to help your business grow. This is the book, and you can find it all on my website, serversandmanagers.com. Thank you so much, Dee. I do appreciate you. Once again, the love. Any closing words?
I kind of think it'd be funny if I logged out like Evan did, but I'm trying not to.
Please. I love you.
No,
Once again,
love you
folks,
too.
You gotta be
God bless you.
genuine. That's the name of
And
this game.
thank you, everyone.
If you're real, you got nothing to worry about. But if you're synthetic, starting tomorrow, your balls come off.